Hey, welcome back. It's Jason Walter here. In today's housing market update, I'm going to share with you how home prices have been affected by this pandemic. I'm going to go over a brand new report that was just issued this morning, so I'm really excited to share that with you today. And stick to the end of this video because I'm going to give you a breakdown by region to show you which regions in the US had the highest rate of price appreciation and which ones had the lowest. And by the way, if you're new here, welcome. I post videos about how this pandemic is affecting our real estate market, so I invite you to subscribe and join the family. Also, if you appreciate real estate market updates just like this one, please hit the like button. I greatly appreciate that. Okay, let's go ahead and dive into the video, and I'm going to share my screen with you right now. Okay, here's what I want to share with you today, and this is compliments of Corelogic. If you're not familiar with Corelogic, they provide a lot of data in the real estate industry, so I want to share this report that they actually just released today at the time of this video. So this is their September 2020 Home Price Index highlight. So they call this the HPI. So for September 2020. So let's go ahead and dive right into this video here. So they say that national home prices have increased 6.7% year over year in September 2020. Of course, this is according to their home price index, or their HPI. This is not actual numbers. This is just according to their index. And I'm going to share how this compares to actual numbers, compliments of the National Association of Realtors. In any case, they say that this 6.7% year-over-year gain in home prices in the US is the highest year-over-year gain since May 2014. And then in addition, they say that housing inventory is obviously at historically low levels. We all know that. But they said that housing inventory is falling to the lowest level recorded in at least 38 years. If you want to look at actual numbers here, the median home price in the US, according to the National Association of Realtors, the median home price increased 14.8% when you compare that to September 2019, and total housing inventory is down 19.2% from 1 year ago. I'll have October stats for you in a few weeks. There tends to be about a 3-week lag from when data is posted on their website. And speaking of housing inventory, I also found this really interesting as well. This is also compliments of Corelogic. When we talk about national supply of homes for sale in the US, of course, when you compare that to 2008, in September, we only had about 40% of the supply of houses that we had in 2008. So we had more than double the supply of houses in 2008 compared to now. Also, when you compare it to the year 2000, we're at about 75%. So right now we have a very low amount of inventory, especially when you compare it to prior years and especially 2008. So going back to Corelogic's report here, they actually say that home prices typically fall during recessions. Everyone knows that, right? So this is a graphic here showing that numbers below 100 indicate falling home prices. So any number below, or any line below this line here, indicates that home prices have been decreasing. Obviously, we saw that in 2008 and 2009 where home prices absolutely tanked, but we're not seeing that this year. So it's really interesting to see that. It's going to be really interesting to see how this fares in the months to come and the years to come. So Corelogic stated that the economic downturn that started in March 2020 is predicted to slow the HPI index, which is that home price index, to increase by only 0.2% by September 2021, which it would be the lowest increase in annual home prices since January 2012. If you didn't see my previous video about my real estate market predictions, I also predict that home prices will continue to increase next year, but at a much lower rate than we're seeing now. But it's everyone's guess, right? This is only speculation. So I just want to make sure everyone knows as well, we are experiencing an economic downturn. Some people, when you look at headlines like this, for example, the US gross domestic product, or the GDP, booms at 33.1% rate in Q3, better than expected. So just by reading the headlines here, you would think, oh gosh, the economy is doing amazing. It's better than expected, and the GDP is absolutely booming. However, I urge you not to read headlines and kind of dig deeper on this, because this is coming off the worst quarter in economic history in the US, and that was Q2, because the GDP actually plunged 31.4% in the second quarter. Here's a really good graphic here on the bottom here. So you see that GDP in the US absolutely been skyrocketing ever since about 2009, ever since the end of the Great Recession. So we've had this uptick in the GDP, and in Q1 2020, the GDP was at $21.6 trillion, and absolutely tanked in Q2, but we've actually increased quite a bit in Q3. However, we're still well below pre-pandemic levels of 21.2. So we're off about $400 billion when you compare that to Q1 2020. So I want to make sure you're aware of that. We are experiencing an economic downturn. Some people are more affected by that than others. They actually had a great quote on this website here as well. According to Eric Winograd, who's a senior economist, he said the stimulus programs that provided much of the economic lift last quarter have expired or are expiring. Fiscal support is diminishing. This is part of the reason that the pace of growth is going to slow from here on out. In addition, the unemployment rate is currently at 7.9%, which is about double pre-pandemic levels, and nearly half of the 22 million jobs that were lost in March and April have remained unfilled. And we all know that COVID-19 cases and deaths have been rising in the US and also on a global basis as well. According to Johns Hopkins University, global deaths, 1.2 million deaths due to COVID in the US, 231,000 deaths in the US. So if this continues, and we continue to have an uptick in COVID-19 cases, this could affect our economy, of course, and it could affect home prices. So I definitely want to bring that to your attention. So going back to this Corelogic report here, I'm going to give you a breakdown by region here in just a little bit, but I want to share this with you right now. So here's a great graphic they have here. The home prices accelerate at all price levels. So we're not just seeing one price level increase, we're seeing all price levels increase, and they broke it down by low price, low to medium to moderate, and high price. We're all seeing prices increase ever since around May or June of this year at all price ranges. So in the lowest price range, those have increased 10% compared to 8.2% for low to middle, and 7.6% increase for middle to moderate, and a 6.6% increase on the high price tiers. In addition, according to Corelogic, they say that all states have showed annual increases in the HPI in September. So every single state has had an increase in their HPI. The states that had the highest growth rate of the HPI in September 2020 were Idaho, Maine, Arizona, Utah, and New Hampshire, whereas Alaska, North Dakota, Hawaii, Illinois, and New York had the lowest price appreciation in September. Also, keep in mind here, New York obviously is last on the list here for states that had the lowest amount of HPI, but they still are positive. So they almost have a 2% increase of their HPI in September 2020. But of course, when you compare it to Idaho, Idaho has almost a 12% increase of their HPI, so almost a tenfold increase. So here's a great graphic that Corelogic has on their website. It's by state to show you how the states have fared. In light green here has the highest percent change in home prices, whereas the darker states have the lowest price appreciation. Again, but no states have posted an annual decline in home prices. And when you look at the HPI's top 10 metro change, the highest changes year over year is San Diego, LA, Las Vegas, Phoenix, Denver, Houston, Chicago, Washington, Boston, and Miami. So Phoenix led the way with the highest price increase of 11.1%. So Corelogic also reported the markets to watch out for. So the top markets at risk of a home price decline. It'd be really interesting to know your thoughts about this. But they report that these are the top markets that they're going to have the biggest risk of home prices declining. So that'd be Lake Charles, Louisiana, a very high risk of prices decreasing. Las Vegas, Nevada, Miami Beach, Florida, Springfield, Massachusetts, and Prescott, Arizona. Let me know your thoughts about that if you live in any of these cities and what you're experiencing in your area. So it says here in markets like Las Vegas, where local tourism economy and job market continue to struggle, home prices are expected to decline by 5.6% by September 2021. Obviously, areas that have a high rate of tourism, where people are not traveling as much as they used to, are really experiencing this recession more than others. In contrast, in San Diego, home prices are forecasted to increase 5.7% over the next 12 months as low inventory continues to push home prices up. In Sacramento County, where I'm a real estate agent, our inventory is down 50% compared to 1 year ago, and we have a lot of home buyers moving to the greater Sacramento area, especially from the Bay Area. So we're really experiencing home prices increasing here due to all the buyer demand, record low interest rates, as well as low inventory. And that is today's housing market update. If you like this video, please hit the like button. I'd greatly appreciate that. Also, if you haven't subscribed already, please subscribe. I invite you to join the family, and I'll keep you updated with new developments. You also can follow me on Instagram. I'm Sacramento Realtor. Hope you have an awesome day, and I look forward to seeing you on the next video.